about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they get him down at about the 17-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On play action, Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the red zone now, Smith. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense. It's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Myers' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You told me before it's tough to identify how to block a 3-4 defense. There wasn't a whole lot of blocking there.
And one other thing an offensive line coach told me, if you want to run wide against a 3-4, which is difficult to do because of the speed of the outside linebackers, it's often difficult for your offensive linemen to hit targets in space and create lanes for your guys to run through.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And Lance going to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a throw out to his fullback. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Ready?
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And this a quick slant to Lockett. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Myers' kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Red, yellow. Ready.
Throwing on second and long.
Lance, that's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
52 blaster. Check smash.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
McCaffrey on the counter. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The Niners at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Now a play fake. Lance. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Okay, ready?
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready?
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And that is incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Smith. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And after the Russell Wilson trade, you have to ask, will Tyler Lockett be able to extend his streak of 1,000-yard seasons to 4 without the only quarterback he's ever played with in the NFL? But the way he plays, a very steady presence who catches everything in sight, I think he's got a good chance of extending that streak and becoming best friends with his new quarterback along the way. He certainly looked like it on that 1st down catch.
Now Geno on 1st down.
Returning right back to Lockett.
And he's got room. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Here's Walker.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Myers' kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Down.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Room here to run.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
After the interception, here's Smith. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes this a 9-point game.
49ers 7. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. So a sensational return there on special teams, a foot race that he was not going to lose. Now, meanwhile, while that was going on, we've got an injured player on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ready.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Ready.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Working from the gun, Lance. Finding Gray going across the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Come on, set. Right, 97.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
And Lance now to throw.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Play action. It's Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. He hits his target, Lockett. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. It's 2nd and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
5 here.
Out of the gun, Smith. Left side here, that's the tight end, Fant. Touchdown! Noah Fant, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
49ers 7. Michael Vick, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Okay, right.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Throwing now is Lance.
This one caught by Kittle. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
50 Fury.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Lance now on 1st down.
And this one is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here we go.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Again, it's Lance.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 36 yards out. Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Seahawks.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point up and through by Myers, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, we're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Play action, now it's Lance. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On first down, it's Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. It got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Seahawks have got it on cruise control.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Let's go now.
49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Gray on the jet sweep. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 63 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. On play action, Lance.
And now here is another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Let's go.
A give running left, it's McCaffrey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
On the set.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Here's Lance. And this pass caught by Gray. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
McCaffrey running up the middle, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a play fake. Lance out to his left. He finds Kittle going across the field. Lance finding Kittle. 1st down, San Francisco.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off of play action, here's Lance. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Third and 2, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Give Uchenna Nwosu the credit for the stuff.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, we see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Seahawks, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.